Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 8.
Am I the Asshole podcast? Thank you so much for tuning in.
Episode 8.
It's great.
I thought you were going to sing with me, Anthony. I thought we made a plan, baby. Folks, it's been one heck of a wild week. We got lots of good stuff coming. The Facebook group, the feedback, we're loving it all.
Absolutely. And if you could please rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes, we will love you for it.
Please, guys. It means the world to us. Our reviews have slowly been going up. That's it. Let's get to the meat, folks.
Chomp, chomp. Let's get into it.
Our second story of the day. Am I the asshole for laughing at my SO during sex? Third story. Would I be the asshole for vaccinating my sister's kids? But first, AITA for calling my coworker chunky after she repeatedly called me slim and made reference to my weight after I asked her multiple times not to. By you, Ms. Sasha Fierce. That's got to be the best username we've had on the program so far. I have a female coworker who repeatedly calls me out regarding my weight. I'm female, 5'9", 115 pounds, and very thin. She is very overweight. All the time, she makes comments about my weight. She doesn't call me by my name. She calls me slim. And I even heard her say one time, "Go ask toothpick." She said stuff like, "You need some meat on your bones," and "You need to eat." I have only worked there 8 days. I've asked her very nicely to stop. Yesterday, I asked her to stop calling me slim again, and she basically said it's her mouth and she can say what she wants. Today, when she said, "Morning, slim," I replied, "Morning, chunky," and she got upset and actually started crying. Everybody here at work, 6 of us total, is saying I'm wrong and I should apologize because being called fat is, quote, different than being called skinny because being called skinny is a compliment. I said as long as she calls me slim, I will call her chunky, and now I'm the bad person? AITA, if I don't apologize, the owner-manager has completely ignored the situation, saying it's, quote, a high school issue and we should figure it out.
She's only been working there for 8 days, and this coworker's already roasting her. It's like, it'd be one thing if they were friends, but like it's hard enough being a new person at work and you're getting body shamed. Like that's not
right away.
Right.
It's been a week and a day, you monster. A lot of good details here. I do like that she's like morning slim. It's almost like got a weird politeness to it. Like top of the afternoon person who I relentlessly mock.
Exactly. I love pleasantries mixed with insults. You know what I mean? It's like, how's your girlfriend? Did she break up with you yet?
Also, the manager is like shockingly hands off here. He's just like, well, you know, what can I say? It's a high school issue. Solve it among yourselves, okay? Let me guess. Your peers are causing you irreparable harm? That's how high school works? That's how this workplace works. What do you want?
Yeah, now get out there and run some laps.
Come on, manager. Jump in a little bit. She also said she's 5'9" and 115 pounds and, quote, very slim.
Yeah, that's like saying I'm 400 pounds, 2 feet tall, somewhat heavy.
We got a lot of great comments on this in the Facebook group. Bronwyn Ariel Isaac writes, I think OP was super mistreated and the coworker sounds emotionally immature and shitty, but calling someone chunky is never the same as calling someone slim.
I disagree. Like, I understand that people are fat shamed much more than people are skinny shamed,
right.
But anytime someone's addressing your body, whether you're skinny or chunky or whatever, like that's still wrong.
Yeah, I can still see how it's hurtful. And like this girl is, honestly, she may really have weight issues. And a lot of commenters did say that because 5'9", 115, like I think I'm 5'8.5", but 6 foot on Tinder. And I weigh 170 pounds. So like, I mean, obviously I'm not a woman, but still that's like a huge difference. I mean, the lowest I've ever weighed is like 150 pounds and people were like, you're sick, Danny. You are sick. Sydney writes, not the asshole. Fat or any derivative is not an insult. I used to be a, quote, toothpick, but with some weight gain, I'm now medically overweight/fat. I feel good about myself regardless, and describing myself as such isn't negative.
I like that. And I feel like most people are technically medically overweight. especially in America. I feel like society might not call you fat, but like you probably are technically overweight because it's a pretty low bar. Have you seen those charts?
Yeah, well, technically overweight, but I don't agree with this notion that fat or any derivative is not an insult. That's not true at all. There's no need to call people fat. It absolutely is an insult.
What if you just have self-love? Like, what if you're BBW?
Well, yeah.
And you're clearly fat and you call yourself fat, but you're like, I'm beautiful, fat and beautiful.
Yeah, if that's your thing and that's your brand. But like, you can't just be like, well, I'm fine with being called fat, therefore you're fat. Not an insult. The question is whether or not calling someone skinny is the same. And I say it can be. And I think in OP's case, it was hurtful. And she said, stop hurting me. And this person repeatedly ignored her request. Alex Carter writes, once someone says something as flagrantly shitty as it's my mouth, I can say what I want, then it's game over. I'm glad she cried. Maybe she can learn something.
Wowza.
I think the fact that she said this quote, though, actually gives me a little bit of sympathy for her. Like, these are young people. They work at a freaking cupcake store. Like, why is this girl doing this? Because she's cripplingly insecure. And I think that's why part of me wanted to defend her a little bit, because this behavior is so out of control. It's so unproductive for her coworker. Look, anyone who walks around saying quotes like, it's my mouth, I can say what I want, like somebody else told them that. Like somebody hurt them. So I see a victim here to some extent. There's something to be said there. And I think that was the reason I kind of defended, I came at Submitter a little bit, because like she did make another girl cry. And that showed that she caused her more harm than she was being caused. So like that's kind of messed up. I think it was fair.
I don't think she went too far. She gave her several chances. She tried to talk to management. That didn't work. So she had to do something.
Couldn't she have done something else? Could she have been nice?
I don't think so. I think that's madness to expect someone to be bullied frequently and then just never snap. Like, unless you're like a perfect, amazing person, I don't see how you can do that.
I'm not saying she's an asshole. I'm just saying, is it really the case that she took the best possible route? Right? There was maybe a better move here.
I disagree. She said, hey, Chunky, which Chunky and Slim are pretty comparable in my opinion.
What if you kill them with kindness?
I don't think killing with kindness would work. The obese woman probably did not think that she was bullying. She probably thought it was like cute and fun or complimentary, but when she was told that it was bullying and it was uncomfortable, she didn't stop. So I kind of think maybe she thinks she wasn't wrong. So killing with kindness wouldn't work.
So you think if you brought, let's say this girl loves...
coffee, like just bring
there we go.
Nice
she
latte.
loves Starbs. She loves Starbies, and this girl had brought her Starbies. Hey, I brought you your favorite drink from Starbucks. What do you think Chunky would have done?
I really don't think it would make her stop, because I think she either thinks it's fun or she thinks it's not wrong, or maybe both.
I have to say, I think you're right. I was fantasizing about a world where niceness could help. Jamie writes, NTA, you asked her once nicely to stop and she didn't. How is being skinny different than being fat? Like, I see their point, but not their point in trying to make you the bad guy. Sounds like she didn't like the bitter taste of her own medicine.
Eye for an eye, justice leaves the whole world blind, but you know.
Oh my God, I didn't know that was the whole phrase. You've been fighting me. You knew the whole phrase this whole time?
I knew it.
Eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind. Well, it also leaves a cupcake shop awkward, people. Katie writes, usually I'm all about defending fat folks' comfortability and recognition that skinny isn't negative in society like fat is. But you warn that person that they're already not cool comments or offensive, and they proceeded. I mean, that's the thing. She didn't just, she warned the girl. She told her. She really did everything.
It wasn't like it was the first time ever. Like, she said it once and then she snapped.
Right. God, eye for an eye. I've been thinking about it a lot, because it's like, on the one hand, it is leaving the whole world blind, which is the idea that this is an old idea of justice. It's literally Old Testament justice. So it's like, it doesn't seem like a great way to do biz, but it's kind of satisfying and people kind of like it.
Yeah.
Like in the movie, we want to see the guy who gets his wife murdered. We want to see him murder the murderer of his wife. We're like, yeah, that's perfect.
It's not like he goes to the drug cartel like, look, I know you're going through some troubles right now. Right. You need to learn empathy.
I brought you Starbies. Who wants Starbies? I'll chop them. Gets shot, assault rifle all down the chest. Lauren writes, not fucking different, and you are not the asshole. That's my all caps voice. I lost 20 pounds off my already small frame after my BF died. F the fact that skinny shaming doesn't seem as rude and insensitive as talking about someone being overweight. How about we agree that we simply don't comment on anyone's weight ever. And that was the most liked comment in our Facebook group. But then she wrote, also, go cry a river to Bruno Mars. He wrote a whole goddamn song about how much he loves chunky women. And I had to call her out like, how you going to be saying don't talk about anyone's weight? Oh, by the way, check out the Bruno Mars song. He loves the chunky women. James Breen, Jimmy, who hasn't sent me any paintball videos recently, writes, additionally, any sentiment regarding the idea that the chunky girl is more the victim is stupid. She started a fight and lost. And I love that phrase. She started a fight and lost. I think we're going to come back to that a lot because people, if you lose a fight you started, people will not defend you.
Right, absolutely.
They will come for you.
They definitely will. And rightfully so, maybe.
Rightfully so. If you're picking fights, you better be ready to win. Sherry, not the asshole, especially if you told her several times to stop. Do not apologize. That's a little controversial.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not against apologizing. I think that could actually maybe mend fences. Like, hey,
right.
I'm sorry I made you cry, but like think how you're feeling now is how you made me feel. I'm sorry.
It was hard to take devil's advocate against this, and people came at me on the group. I feel like you came at me for a bit. But I think what I've learned is there is empathy being taught in this situation. It's a rough way to do it, but it really might be the only way, because obviously this girl is kind of closed off to thinking about how Slim feels. So it's sort of the only way to be like, oh, you want to know how it feels to be called Slim? I'm going to call you what you're insecure about. Now do you get it? Now do you understand? Because it's inside your own head. Sometimes the only way to get someone to walk in your shoes is to throw a shoe at them.
Yeah.
Can that be a catchy phrase? Not the asshole. AITA for laughing at my SO during sex. Two things first. She just got a smartwatch. She is not the most active during sex. So my SO and I were having sex. I'm on top and it's the usual, which is fine. I'm always the one to suggest other positions and stuff. Otherwise, it would just be missionary/done. I've already got her off and I say, quote, hey babe, want to get on top? She said, not really, if that's okay. I said, okay, and continued the in-out. Suddenly, her watch starts vibrating and chiming. I say, what's up with that? And she goes, oh, it just does that when it thinks I've been sedentary too long. I bust out laughing. I can't stop. She got super grumpy about it, so we stopped. I don't really care because I appreciate the comedy. Now her feelings are kind of hurt. Am I the asshole?
It's the usual, which is fine. That's not a good way to describe sex.
Yeah, I don't know. People kind of said stuff about that in the Reddit and on the group, but like that's kind of normal. I hate to say it. I'm in a 4-year relationship and like it has exciting moments, but like I don't know, because that's like a person who's in a relationship. I've been with my boyfriend for 9 months and it is the hottest sex of my little life. We're banging each other on top of trash cans, and if a rat jumps in, I let him have sex with the rat too. It's like that is a young couple thing. Like it slows down a bit. So I totally kind of feel OP for this. Laura Jean Moore writes, this sounds like someone enduring, not enjoying.
Yeah.
That's pretty fair. Kevin Masterson writes, not the asshole. This is a golden moment. I love laughter during sex. I think it's supposed to be fun. You're supposed to have a good time. It's intimate. You're connected with the person. But you said you don't really, right?
Yeah, I don't like that at all. I don't want anyone, I like to have fun, but I don't want anyone laughing while I'm having sex.
Which that has to be hard because you have a fetish of dressing up as a clown. So how does that...
Look, man, at least my fetish isn't feet.
Don't even. Toes are my fetish, okay? I'm just kidding. My fetish is having sex with someone who's bored. All right, folks, too real. It's working out great. Honk, honk. Anthony, put your nose away. Put it away.
So he mentions the smartwatch. Why is she even wearing the smartwatch? You know what I mean? Like, how many steps is she getting in while they're having sex?
Apparently, she's very excited to have the smartwatch. She's like sitting there, dead fish style, like, oh, I just got a text. It's so cool. It's right here on my wrist.
Well, it vibrates and chimes.
I mean, what more can you ask? I say not the asshole. I think they should probably talk about it.
But you got to try to spice it up, baby. I've been in a long relationship. My longest ever was 5 years, and I always tried to spice it up.
Absolutely. You do have to spice it up, and spicing it up works. And you have to go to new places and you have to try new things. Personally, I have a new fetish that I'm doing, which is cheating. I don't know if you guys have tried that. Cheating.
Oh, God.
Cheating.
Cheating on your taxes, right?
There we
Hachi-machi.
go. Hachi machi. Now, look, I think sex should be a little bit lighthearted. I think it's a serious bummer. I wouldn't want to be with anyone who is like completely serious about it. Like, it's the most intimate thing you do. It's very funny. Sex is one of the funniest things. Like, first of all, it's so gross.
It is gross, but like it is very vulnerable too. So like that maybe that's why she didn't feel comfortable with him laughing at her naked. Like they just got done boning. He's laughing. Like that sucks.
I mean, I just don't want to be with someone who's this like uptight. It's like, yo, it's not like their third time having sex. Like, loosen up a bit, Karen. Come on.
You got the Apple Watch. What more do you want?
Right. I bought it for you. It's got the Hermes band. Now smile. You're getting effed.
I say he's the asshole. I say you're the asshole. I think that's not cool.
You don't think it should be funny?
I do not think sex should be funny. No.
Sex is so funny. Like, literally think about this. When sex is good, it sounds like this. That's good. It's good if it sounds that way. If it sounds like
True.
someone's dying, even better.
Yeah.
Nothing else is like that. Except killing someone, but that is bad. So, I mean, it's so ridiculous. Like you're putting your bloop bloop in their blop blop. Like it's hilarious. It's so weird.
The outie into the innie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ew. Ooh, I just pictured belly buttons doing that. Just picture an outie belly button in an illy.
That's my new fetish.
Ooh. Wow. Just the smell is what kills me.
Oh, God.
Smell. Why do all belly buttons smell the same?
I don't know. I personally do not wash my belly button.
Oh, gross. You are the asshole, sir. So are you going to try it, Anthony? Try to have some silly sex. It's funny.
I guess I could try it.
Story number 3. Am I the asshole for wanting to vaccinate my sister's kids? This is from my New York Times column called The Ethicist. I am the primary caregiver for my elderly mother who has lupus and thus a compromised immune system. My sister has 4 young children, none of whom she has had vaccinated out of fear that vaccines cause autism. My mother and I watch all 4 children regularly, but have become increasingly uneasy in the face of outbreaks of measles and other communicable diseases. My mother and other relatives have implored my sister to reconsider her anti-vax stance. We have told her that if she doesn't, we will have to stop watching her children, which would be a significant hardship for her. My 2 older nephews are both denied entrance to a great local public school because my sister refuses to vaccinate, leading to even more babysitting time at my mother's house. The health center where my mother receives regular care hosts a biannual reduced-cost vaccination clinic. Would it be unethical for me to get the children inoculated there the next time such an event is held? I don't want to alienate my sister, but at what point does the common good outweigh individual choice?
You know what just jumped out at me is she mentioned reduced cost vaccination. So she's like, I want to vaccinate these kids, but let's do it on a budget.
Right, right. I like the way she talks. She's like, I am the primary caregiver for my elderly mother. Like, lady, just say you care for your mom, okay? Calm down, Hemingway.
I want to hear this lady when her house is on fire.
She's like, hello, 911. A great ill has befallen my home, for it has become engulfed in the most primal of elements. Please do send proper personnel before it is transformed into mere embers. Please, please bestow upon me thy gift of appropriate personnel.
First of all, she's going from 0 to 60, right? Like she's just going all the way
like trust-wise.
Exactly. I think maybe she should just give the kids a haircut without asking first. See how that goes.
Right. Like see if it blows over a little bit. Like she shouldn't just go all the way to something that she's probably obsessed with.
Exactly. Like take him for some ice cream.
Yeah.
Take him to Europe. You know what I mean? Maybe start a punk band.
Right. That would be good.
And then be like, oh, by the way, I got them vaccinated.
She's like, wait a second. A punk band? Not in my home.
Vaccinations are punk rock, bro.
They are. That's how it's going to be soon, especially in the Upper East Side. A lot of this goes on by really wealthy people, which is so funny. I love the idea of a wealthy person being so rich and thinking they're above vax and then getting measles. Not a kid, though. A parent.
Measles, mumps, rubella, that's for the poor.
Nice. Measles, mumps, rubella. It kind of sounds like a spell. Measles, mumps, rubella. Oh my God, a Dementor. Oh, it's gone now. That killed it. Nate Sinclair writes, your sister is most definitely an a-hole and an idiot, but you would be a bigger asshole and idiot if you went through with this. See, I gotta disagree. I'm coming back on this, Tony, because look, I'm going to assume that she could get away with this in a legal sense. In other words, she won't be arrested and she won't be subject to a civil penalty.
I think it is illegal though, right?
I don't know that it would be illegal. What would the crime be? Somebody said on the Facebook, like, the people who administer the vaccine could get in trouble, but I kind of feel like maybe, but not always.
Do you think it'd be better if she got the kids vaccinated and then never told her sister and just let the kids live a healthy, happy life?
100%. I think that's the moral mandate. I think if she could pull this off, I'm sorry, I completely disagree with Nate Sinclair. She would not be a bigger asshole nor a bigger idiot. She would only be if she got arrested or there was other serious legal penalties. And I'm going to assume that that is not the case for what I'm saying. And my point is, look, if you got an opportunity to be a hero, you are. The effect that these vaccines have on these kids is far outweighing your sister potentially being mad.
Like, just because you feel something so strongly and just because something might be correct doesn't mean that you can force your will onto other people. Like, it is not her children.
But why are you saying might be correct? This isn't subjective.
Well, it doesn't matter. Even if it's an objective truth, it doesn't matter. Like, it's not your child.
But that's like saying you can beat your kid. Like, if I knew that you were beating your kids, would I be an asshole for taking your kids from you?
So where do you draw the line then? Like, say her next door neighbor is also not vaccinated. Can she vaccinate the neighbor's kid?
If you're in the car with your sister's kids and you say, hey, put on your seatbelts, okay? And sister's like, I don't believe in seatbelts because, seatbelts sometimes kill people, which they do, by the way. That's your right. It's your right to say, hey, I'm with them. I want them to put on seatbelts. But it would be insane for her to walk over to the neighbor's house as they're about to pull out of the driveway and be like, hey, put on your seatbelts. It's like, well, now you're interfering with someone's whole thing. You're not already part of it. You don't care about those people.
The seatbelt analogy actually really did it for me because seatbelts are mandatory. So even if you don't believe in seatbelts, you have to wear it for like the betterment of society, insurance companies, all that jazz. You have to wear seatbelts.
Right.
But I guess my only concern is since vaccinations are not mandatory, it's still kind of overstepping a boundary. But that is a very good point.
I agree. There's definitely a boundary that's being overstepped. I'm saying, and there was a Reddit post about this, and that was one of the big points that this guy had posted on Facebook, that he vaccinated the kids. And I said, you're an asshole, because the victory here is getting the kids vaccinated. Sister doesn't need to know. Tell the kids that what they got was they got their blood checked. They're not going to know. So if this is so important to you, then take the victory as a covert victory. And if you can pull it off, I think you should pull it off. It doesn't make you an asshole to pull it off. If you flaunt it in her face, of course you're an asshole, because then you're basically saying like, oh, I want to reveal to you that I broke this boundary. James Breen posted this on the Facebook. When abortion is illegal, so you become an anti-vax parent. Outstanding move. I get it. So he's saying that abortion's illegal, so you're going to kill your kids by not vaccinating them.
I don't like this meme.
This meme sucks.
This is a whack
Jimmy,
meme.
back to paintball videos. Back to paintball videos, Jimmy. Carlos Morales Martinez writes, you're not the a-hole, but I don't believe you can legally do this. I hate people who don't vaccinate their kids, but it's their personal decision. I would keep sister away. I say absolutely not the asshole for sneaking a vaccine, because look, these kids are endangering society. They're endangering her mother. They are a threat.
A potential threat. We don't know for certain they're going to get sick. They're not protected.
There's a very good chance they're going to get sick over the course of their life to not have measles, especially with the fact that there's less and less people vaccinating. The biggest reason to vaccinate the kids, forget all that, is for the kids, because measles is a major suck fest.
Overall, I would say not the asshole, because it does seem like something that needs to be done. I think the trickery is the best option. Tell the kids are getting a little blood test. Go get them, get them vaccinated.
Absolutely. It's time for everybody's favorite part of the show, listener submissions, AITA for humming. So I was hanging with a buddy at his place a few weeks back, and while I was looking at his phone for several minutes, I unintentionally started humming. He pointed it out to me. Dude, you know that humming is like objectively rude, right? Surprise, I explained that I wasn't even aware that I was humming, but added that I disagreed with the idea that humming is objectively rude. AITA for humming as my friend used his phone.
If you're on the phone zone, you got to do something, but humming is not it.
Right? Come on. Okay, I need to confess to the listeners. This was me. I am he who said, dude, humming is like objectively rude, right?
Thank God you're not the hummer. When you said, I got a confession, I thought maybe you were the hummer. I might have to cancel the pod, but thankfully everything's fine.
Dude, I don't hum. So my little fun thing in the Facebook group, people would be like, humming's not annoying. So I would just reply, Is that annoying?
That's an aggressive hum, to say the least.
Hey, a hum's a hum. If you say it's not annoying, then it's not annoying. Look, to my friend who wrote this, who's actually one of the sweetest people I know. He's a wonderful man. He was repeatedly humming. He also cut that out of the story. It wasn't his first hum. In his defense, I think some people are nervous hummers. And I got to admit, he's not even the worst hummer by far. I was visiting my friends out in LA. They got this roommate who was humming. Non-melodic humming, Anthony. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do it, but it was like...
I hate that so much.
It's so annoying, dude.
That's a nightmare.
Darian writes, why would this be rude? Someone please explain. I don't know, Darian. Do you have fucking ears?
Yeah, literally everything about it is rude. What's not rude about it?
Mary writes, NTA, some people hum unintentionally when they're nervous or because it's so quiet. So?
Let it be quiet. Sit in the silence.
Yeah, like just because some people do it. So stop. Fix yourself. Like I have to spit. Like I'm a spitter. Like sometimes I just have to spit, but I know it's rude, so I drink my own spit. Yeah, it turns me on. Bronwyn writes, I think humming is cute, so not the asshole.
Disagree. Hard disagree.
So I have a conspiracy theory about this, and I don't know if Bronwyn listens to the show, but I actually think, so I wrote a comment that I was like, my comment was, guys, just so you know, I'm the buddy. Because in the story, he says, I was hanging with a buddy at his place because I was the guy who shut him down. And I actually think Bronwyn might have been flirting with me. It kind of made my whole week because I thought she was calling me cute.
That might be wishful thinking, I think.
No. She was flirting with me, Anthony.
Okay, she was flirting with you.
Don't take away the only thing I have. Cameron says, I think staring at your phone for extended amounts of time while in the presence of company is objectively far more rude.
Yeah, I mean, being on your phone is rude, but like it's inattentive, but you're not bothering me unless your phone has sound on. Or you know it's really annoying on the phone if you have your text buttons, that's annoying.
Oh,
yeah, you got to turn that off or you're
imagine
a monster.
you go to someone's house and there's a moment of silence and it's just that would be the worst hangout ever. Howdy says humming and whistling are cool and so is singing to yourself at all times. If you disagree with any of the above, you are an uptight jerk prude. End of discussion.
So look, I'm an uptight jerk, but I'm not a prude.
I love to whistle. I personally love it. I'm a great whistler. It's the only thing that I pitch at because I can't really sing. But you can't just whistle. That's so rude. It's so harsh.
I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable. It's too adorkable. It's too cutesy. I don't care for it.
Ugh. Adorkable? Did you just say adorkable?
Yeah.
Adorkable? That's like the humming of words. Elaine, humming is f***ing obnoxious.
Thank you, Elaine.
Well put. Jamie writes, whoa, there's so many different stances here on humming. It's annoying to me because people are usually off key. Bottom line, I say, look, if you're doing a little bit of hum, a little bit of whistle, a little bit of sing, once per hang. I mean, I sung when we started the episode, but like, not too much, guys. It's annoying.
I personally would prefer zero humming. Some singing or whistling is okay, but for some reason humming, I just don't care for it.
I think that's fair. But still, I'm going to give Ryan, my friend who submitted this, not the asshole.
Not the asshole.
But I do wish to send Ryan one special sound. AITA, not telling my one-night stand I had bed bugs. I had a one-night stand come over for ... You know, one-night stand stuff.
What does that mean? I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it. What does that mean? What does that mean, Smitter? Seriously, what does that mean? Call me right now and tell me what it means, because I don't know what that means. She stayed the night, and in the morning she had a bite, and I told her I have bed bugs, and she told me I'm an asshole for letting her stay over knowing I have bed bugs. I wasn't expecting her to stay all night. Also, it's embarrassing. AITA.
Yes, you weren't expecting her to stay all night. Like I think it's so weird when people have one night stand and they just like kick the person out. Let them stay over. They were just inside of you, or you were inside of them. Like let them sleep over.
Right. Or you were scissoring, Anthony. You didn't cover all the options.
They're inside of you. You're inside of them.
They're inside of you. Or you were scissoring, which is no penetration.
That's true.
There's nothing wrong with two men scissoring each other. Hey, all right.
And I actually had bed bugs. And the weirdest part is, and this is true, they bring a dog over and he like confirms that you have bed bugs.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he just comes over and he like sniffs the little areas. I don't know how he detects it, but
that's his whole job. He just smells and confirms.
It's the worst dog job there is.
I like that he's not even a detector. He's just a confirmer. There has to be a strong suspicion already. Worst, yeah, that is the worst dog job ever. Like, it's like, oh, what do you do, Mr. Dog? Oh, well, I help the blind. What do you do? I bust drug criminals.
What do you do? I find truffles.
How about you?
I guarantee if you have bed bugs.
Okay, I'm going to talk to someone else at this dog party. Disgusting Scooby-Doo. Okay, for anyone who doesn't live in New York, bed bugs are like the worst ever. When you had bed bugs, was that hard?
Yes, and actually, the bed bugs are a real big problem everywhere. Columbus, Ohio, where I'm from, has a really bad bed bug problem as well.
Really? Oh, I thought it was mainly a big city New York thing. It's everywhere.
Unfortunately, they're spreading everywhere. Like all the big cities, yeah, it's horrible. So when I had them, it's a literal nightmare. You have to wash and dry everything. You get these special bags you have to put it in. You have to buy a bed bug bed cover.
Oh,
it's brutal, bro.
God, a lot of work. That just leaves me saying, this is true.
You're going to have a brain aneurysm.
This is actually true, though. Did you know that bed bugs in Spanish is chinches, which I think is very appropriate. It just sounds chinches. Doesn't that sound right to you?
Well, I guess so. I mean, it sounds...
Chinches.
It sounds scary when you say it like that.
Right? That's what I mean. It's a perfect word for bed bugs. Chinches.
But if you say anything like that, it sounds scary. Hello.
Okay, you're right. Maybe you're onto something. Steven writes, you, one of the biggest a-holes on the planet, I hope you step on Lego blocks and hit your pinky toe on the side of the bed for the next 6 months. I hope you work at Fridays and never get Fridays off. I hope every taco you ever have tastes like bad chicken wings. I hope you have cereal and you're too broke for milk and you have to use water. I hope you win the lottery and it's a prank. I hope you put the wrong gas in your car. I hope you order a pepperoni pizza and end up with a salad upon delivery. I hope your TV shorts out.
I love that. That is a hilarious comment.
Steven Johnson, what the fire? My favorite line here is, I hope you work at Fridays and never get Fridays off.
I love the pinky toe on the side of the bed because that's a very specific pain and it hurts a lot.
The worst. So for anyone who doesn't know, we post like pretty much everything on the Facebook group. We get comments. We learn a lot from everyone. We're always inviting new people. Some people don't know what's going on. I make like all the posts. So this person, Elisa, who just joined the group, writes, now I hope that lady continues to call you slim at work. You deserve it. This lady actually thinks that the same person who got called chunky at work, who called the girl chunky at work, also gave a girl bed bugs. Like she thinks every submission is me. She thinks I'm the worst person. I had to be like, I just posted submissions, lady, relax.
Could you imagine how bad of a person you'd be if you did all of these things? You're like, am I the asshole?
Right. Am I still every day? Horrible things. Matt Camacho writes, yeah, you're a manipulator. You know fairly well that you would have told her she would have declined to stay over and leave you blue-balled. When karma comes back around to you, you will see why it was a punk move.
That's very true. Because like honesty is the best policy. You
Absolutely. Rigo Pagliuca says, you're the asshole for sure. Why not just make it an away game? Shameful. Okay, I don't know if I'm comfortable with the term away game. Yeah, hooking up with women is just a league, a sports team. Nah.
Home or away. I'm fine with it.
Shelby Taylor writes, when Matt and I met, he had bed bugs and he was doing a bit about it, like a stand-up bit. And I was like, I don't usually say what people can and can't joke about, but you have to stop saying that to people. Then I still let him boink me, and that's why he will be my husband. And then she writes, so yes, you're the asshole. Real men overshare.
When I had my bed bugs, I had a girlfriend at the time, and she knew about the bed bugs, and she slept over still. What an angel.
So this is actually a submission by you. Is that right? Why don't you read it for us?
Yeah, man. So when I do laundry in my building, I'll move someone's clothes and put them on top of the dryer. I don't wait like even 1 minute, right? My roommate said I'm the asshole. He says there has to be a 10-minute buffer, but I disagree. Am I the asshole?
So, okay, so you do the laundry. I don't quite understand that. Take me through this again.
So basically we have 2 washers and 2 dryers downstairs. And if someone's clothes are in the dryer when my clothes are done with the washer, I'll remove their clothes from the dryer, put it on top of the dryer.
Their clothes are already done drying.
Exactly. So the one thing that made me kind of agree with my roommate is I do feel like I'm doing something wrong, like it's quite a rush. Okay. I think it's because I'm afraid of getting caught touching someone else's clothes.
Yeah.
Even though I feel I have the right to the dryer, it does make me feel a little uneasy because it's like, you know, their intimates are in there, whatever. It's like...
Yeah, I mean, I don't really think the harm to them is very big. So what, you're going to touch their panties or something and they're going to freak out? I mean, as long as they're not weird about it.
Yeah, I mean, or even boxers, like whatever. But like, it's just like, I do get very nervous when I do it, but I still do it.
I would be like, look, dog, if you're going to be a freak about me like taking a little whiff of your boxers, then maybe you should stay down here and guard your clothes because homie's got to do some smelling and some drying.
Tied.
Richie writes, all right, first question, you're taking these clothes out once they're done drying. Second question, would this piss you off? That's a good one.
Well, it wouldn't, and it actually has happened to me, and I didn't care at all. I didn't say anything.
Justin writes, not the asshole. You need to get down there if it's a public machine. Set a timer, you lazy asses. Although, I do say there needs to be a 10-minute buffer if their clothes are in the washer, but after that 10-minute buffer, your wet-ass clothes are also going on top of the dryer.
We got several comments about the wet clothes, and for some reason, wet clothes are more sacred. Because I've also took wet clothes from the washer and put them on top of the dryer.
You will give them a buffer for that.
I usually will give them like a 5-minute buffer, which is not a lot. But if I go downstairs and someone's clothes are in the washer, I'll come back in 5 to 10 minutes. Something about them being wet does seem kind of different.
5 minutes seems fair, though. Like, you should be on your stuff, and set a timer. What, you're going to be 5 minutes off if you're sincerely trying? No. Anna writes, wait, I have a question. Have you taken clothes out of the dryer that clearly hadn't had enough time to dry and are still slightly damp? Like someone didn't put enough time on the dryer?
I have not. Thankfully, our dryers are very good. They're kind of expensive. It's $3 to wash, $3 to dry.
Are you kidding me, bro?
No.
Bro, you're getting fleeced. Oh my God, the real asshole here is your building. Anna writes, not the asshole. I would definitely put their clothes on the floor if need be. Okay,
that's
Anna.
asshole. Yeah, that's assholery. I hope she's joking.
That's crazy.
I love the Facebook group. Thank you so much for commenting. I love it.
You feel better about what you do?
Yeah, I mean, it was very nice to have the group echo that back.
Am I the asshole for getting mad at my roomie for giving his GF a new key? My roommate has been dating this girl for around 6 weeks. She's fine. She does like to party, though. The second time I met her, she asked me if I wanted to snort an Adderall. I said, no thanks. My roommate gave her a key to the apartment, and I told him I thought it was too soon, and maybe he should have asked before doing it. I guess it probably won't affect me, but she is a party animal, and who knows if you can trust her. Am I the asshole?
That seems a little bit judgy to say she's a party animal, so who knows if you can trust her.
Yeah.
But there might be some truth to that. Like, sometimes when people have drug addictions, they do steal stuff or like they do crazy things. You never know.
Right. I mean, I don't necessarily think if they're in college. I don't know. I feel like this situation could have easily gone the opposite way, right? I feel like this could have just as easily read like, this girl's awesome. She let me snort Adderall. Like, he just got negative vibes because he's kind of a prude,
Maybe he's not a prude. Maybe he just doesn't like to snort it. Maybe he wants to take it orally.
Take it orally? Okay, Dr. O'Connell. Do not insufflate the dexamphetamine. What you want to do is... Lisa Danielle Porter writes, he's the asshole. Boris writes, not the asshole. None of the party details really matter. Roomies should have advance warning if someone else has access to the apartment. That's true.
That's fair.
Give me a break. You can't just give people a key. Jenny Walkowiak writes, it's unacceptable to give someone a key to your apartment without consulting the roomies first, not the a-hole.
But you have to consult with your roommates. Like,
you've got to.
Even if you buy like a different rug or something or like whatever. Like, so my question too is like, is this person going to be paying rent? Like, maybe the roommate gets cheaper rent, so that's kind of a win.
Right.
The thing about having a roommate is it affects you in ways like the bathroom, like the water bill's going to go up, the electric bill's going to go up, everything. Right. So would you expect her to pay rent? Like, I know you live with your girlfriend, but...
If she was here a lot, yeah, it does get to that point. I mean, I'll just say, I'm the asshole for this. My girlfriend was basically going to live at my apartment for the summer, and we thought, should I tell my roommates? The thing is, she was working, like, she would literally work 14-hour days, plus then she had events and stuff. So, like, she was literally home at my place just to sleep every day of the week. She was like, look, why would you tell your roommates? They're not even going to notice. And it was true. They never noticed.
They didn't notice?
I kind of felt like we cleanly pulled it off, so I don't feel bad about it.
Or maybe they're just not combative or confrontational.
Well, literally, they couldn't have noticed. Like, all she did was come home at night.
She didn't shower?
Well, yeah, but we showered together.
Oh, gotcha. That's fair. It's your shower time, whatever.
Right? Come on. And I mean, that just means I'm not masturbating in the shower. Folks. AITA for being mad at my husband for leaving me on the couch. I went to visit my parents with my husband this weekend. My parents and I have a very strained relationship right now, but I went to visit anyway. I was absolutely exhausted from spending time with them all day. My parents tend to make me feel awful about myself, and I have a very long, not so wonderful history with them. My husband, my parents, my dog and I were watching a movie, and I fell asleep on their couch. When I woke up, all the lights were on, but everyone was gone. My husband had gone up to the guest bedroom and gotten ready for bed and turned all the lights off. I was so upset he didn't wake me up. He said he, quote, thought I was awake, end quote, and, open quote, tried to wake me up, end quote, but I don't really have any memory of that. I was so angry that he had just left me on my parents' couch to sleep through the night when he knew I was already uncomfortable in their house. For context, I have walked him back to bed when he fell asleep on the couch in our house many times or helped him get to bed every time he was drunk/sick. I'm very upset and he says I'm overreacting. AITA.
I think it's kind of interesting that she says he told her, I thought I was awake and I tried to wake you up. It's like, which one was it? Like, I know I'm taking her very literally here, but like, It seems like he didn't try, and he just, after the fact, was like, oh, I tried.
Amanda Hickman writes, I think my boyfriend would have done the same thing, and I would have been upset from a lonely or emotional standpoint, but I don't know if I could be mad. Truthfully, mine would have probably done it to let me sleep. I mean, it's a hard thing to know. Like, what do you want to do for the person? I mean, in this situation, I always make my girlfriend come back to bed because I know, like, ultimately that's going to suit her sleep the best. But in our place, it's pretty clear because, like, we have a massive window that has no coverings in the living room. So it's like, you're going to get woken up at 5 a.m.
Another good point, too, is, like, regardless of the relationship with the parents, you should just wake them up just for that. Like, you're going to get better sleep in the bedroom regardless.
Right. It seems like a pretty fair policy. Maria Wojciechowsk writes, I think OP's feelings about being left on the couch are valid, especially when her SO knows a backstory with her fam. However, I have a feeling she might be misplacing some of her stress under her good relationship in a misguided attempt to avoid stress with her family. It's like a weird double down effect. Personally, I relate with that a lot. There's been times in my life where I feel like I'm having issues with my friends and I projected that onto my girlfriend. You got to be careful. Sometimes we can get in this like zone where we feel attacked and you can turn on some of your closest allies. I love that she said the feelings are valid. I kind of maintain that every feeling is valid, and by valid I mean worth addressing, and any good person in your life will always take your feelings seriously. So like if you were to get in such a phase where you felt like everyone was attacking you and you're like, Danny, you're attacking me too, I would accept that as valid. That doesn't mean I would accept it, but I would talk with you about it. I wouldn't just like be like, well, Anthony, if you think I'm rude to you, then you're out of my life. Like I would process that with you.
Yeah, and that's fair. And I think a lot of times, if you're willing to talk about someone's feelings, even if you think they're invalid, just talking about them might even lead the person to naturally come to the conclusion that they were kind of misplacing or projecting that anger.
Listening is huge. I think listening, it's such a great thing you can do for someone, and all you got to do is listen. You don't have to do anything.
What was that?
Oh boy, the clown is here. Well, we're not having sex. Carlos Morales Martinez writes, I feel like me, as a man, would never win this argument. I believe my wife will get upset because I woke her up or because I didn't. So for me, I will flip a coin and pray I make the right decision. Sarah Carroll writes, I'll be honest, if I had been in his position, it would not have occurred to me that letting you sleep on the couch would hurt your feelings. See, I don't know about this. I get it, right? Like Sarah's not in their relationship, but you got to pay attention to your partner and your partner's wants. We talked about the guy who had an almanac who wrote down every single detail of his girlfriend's wants and desires. I have a note in my phone. You got to pay attention to this stuff. That's part of your role as a partner.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not saying this guy's necessarily wrong, but I'm just saying, you know, don't throw your hands up and be like, oh, I had no idea. Like, I mean, come on.
You had to have some idea.
Some idea. I'm going to say, not the asshole. However, I didn't like certain aspects of this story. I found them a little alarming. Like the thought I was awake and tried to wake me up thing. Did the boyfriend really try? Was this kind of gaslighting?
Yeah, which one was it? It seems a little low-key gaslighting.
Right, and he didn't seem to have a lot of empathy for her because she's in a strained relationship. He also said she was overreacting. I really don't like the word overreacting. I think that's banned. That is just as horrible as telling someone like, chill out.
So are you saying it's impossible to overreact, or you just don't like the term?
I think it's a mean term. And you know what? I'm not even going to say it's a mean term when the reaction is a good thing. It is mean. My friend pointed this out. I was hanging out with my friend Audrey Farnsworth.
Brag alert.
Audie Penny. Follow her on Twitter. She's great. And she goes, if someone's excited about something and you shut them down, that is mean. So if you come to me and you're excited about something stupid that I don't care about, like Game of Thrones, you're like, oh, Donnie, Game of Thrones. And I go, that's stupid. Why am I going to tear down your excitement?
I do like that a lot, and I think you should absolutely let people enjoy things.
It's the same thing, negative or positive, isn't it? Like if you say something mean to me and I start crying, right? Like I had a reaction and you go, oh, you're overreacting. No, there is no overreacting.
You're just reacting, and that's how. But I think overreacting. What if, because you disagreed with me, I smashed your table and it broke and it shattered? Would that be an overreaction?
Okay. Let me change this. It's not that there's no such thing as overreacting. It's that there's never a reason to tell someone they are overreacting, because by definition, that means you are not empathizing with them. You're basically saying, it's a different way of saying your feelings are invalid.
I'd
right?
agree with that.
So if you freaked out and like hulked out and broke my glass table, why would I take the bill? Oh, you're overreacting. You know, I would take a shard of glass and I'd slit your throat. I'm not going to tell you you're overreacting.
Tough but fair.
Right? No, but like, it's the same. It is a move that looks to shoot the other people's feelings down, and there's just no reason to say it.
Do you think it's on the level of telling someone calm down? Because telling someone calm down has never worked.
That's what I was trying to say earlier. I was saying chill out, calm down. There's no need to say that. That is just rude. It's dismissive. It's gaslighting. Overreacting is maybe gaslighting Junior. You're crazy. That's full on. Overreacting Junior. That's the son.
I'd agree with that. That's fair.
I'm going to give hubby the benefit of the doubt. I think that Maria made a great point. Maybe Submitter is a little bit in a vulnerable place. She's with her strained parents. There's some warning signs here potentially, depending on how the story is told.
So I would say, yeah, she's not the asshole for being upset.
All right, well, we got a couple of quickies here. So, Anthony, you had a rough night last night. You were telling me at the old restauranty.
So I had a big party, a party of 8 people.
Okay.
And I go greet them, and they're just talking amongst themselves. So I'm like, okay, whatever, they need some time.
Right.
So I walk away, and I come back about 3 minutes later, and I'm like, I ask them again, I'm like, want to start off with some water, tap or bottled? They say tap. So I bring the tap water over, and I asked if anyone wants a drink. One person orders a beer, and I'm standing there awkwardly for like 45 seconds, a minute, just hanging out, standing there like a bozo. And I'm like, would anyone else like a drink? Nothing happens.
Wow.
So then I bring back the beer, and then an older woman in the group says to me, we need your attention. And I'm like, excuse me? And she's like, my son is celebrating. We need you to pay attention to us. And I'm like, miss, I tried to get the drink order. Like, I don't know what you want me to do. And then she grabs my arm, and I'm like, don't touch me. Her face turned blood red, like she was really angry. And then she goes, stay put.
Oh, my God.
And then when she said stay put, there's nothing going to make me walk away quicker. Like, I would rather lose my job than to stay there at that point. So luckily, I passed it off to one of my coworkers, and he dealt with it. And it's like, I'm your server, not your servant. There's a difference.
Ooh, burned.
Yeah, got him.
Got him.
But it's just like, come on, man. Don't touch your server.
That kind of sounds like a drunk party to me. Do you think that theory holds up?
The only reason I would say maybe not drunk is because they didn't instantly order drinks. Like, I feel like normally when I get a drunk table, if I say hello, they're like, Coors Light. I'm like, all right.
More alcohol.
Yeah.
What a bunch of assholes, man. Not the asshole on your part, sir.
So speaking of parties, 8 party. I had a party of 8 last night.
I had to text you about this. So I go to this place which Anthony, of course, has an opinion on every restaurant I can go to in the neighborhood. He called it overpriced. Anyway, I call them, I say, hey, what's the wait time for a party of 2? And the guy goes, party of 2? That's not a party. 10 is a party. 12 is a party. 2, that's not a party. I tell Anthony, and what did you say? You're like, that's so rude.
I said it's unacceptable. It's unbelievable. It's almost like he's like trying to do a bit.
That's what I thought. I go, this guy thinks he's funny. And so I go, and by the way, I love the food. I got a Casio Pepe pizza, which I've never even had. It was like super peppery. It was great. I go, hey, where is this guy? And the waiter goes, actually, it's my first day, which I thought that was kind of cool. So he goes, can you just, say I did a good job? I was like, absolutely. Bring me the funny guy. And he comes up, and I go, so what's this? 2 isn't a party? And he goes, 10's a party. 12 a party. 2 not party. I don't speak English. And then
Mario
he just
Brothers.
walked away. I swear to God, he just clearly admitted he didn't speak English. And I was like, all right. And then I tried to call him back over, and I was like, the server did a good job. And that was our little
But he is
interaction.
technically wrong, though. Maybe it's a language barrier, but 2 is a party.
2 is a table. That's what he said.
Well, 8's a table. 8 people are still sitting at a table.
He didn't say 8. He said 10's a party.
10 are still sitting at a table. 10's a table.
So you're going to say Jesus and the 12 apostles show up. You say table for 13.
You're still the customer. He shouldn't say that. Customers say wrong shit to me all the time.
Well, he was doing a little bit, Anthony.
You think he was trying to be funny?
He was trying to be funny. He's a funny old Italian guy.
If it was the manager of this establishment, I actually know who you're talking about. And he is a wild
He's
character.
a kook. Let a kook.
He's picture like an Italian stereotype and like that.
He totally is.
Yeah.
Speaking of Italians, we were hanging out, and you told me you've been doing a little bit of pasta profiling, Tony.
I'm a pasta pusher who pasta profiles.
Whoa.
At the restaurant I work at, we serve the pasta al dente. And in my
What does that mean?
So al dente pasta is when it's just slightly undercooked, so it has a little bit more of a firm texture, a little more of a bite to it. In my experience, if I have a certain customer of a certain type and they get the al dente pasta, they say it's not cooked and they send it back and it's a waste of everyone's time. It's a waste of food. In my experience, if a customer asks, do you have Alfredo? Sometimes they'll do this thing, they'll be like, do you have Alfredo? And I'm like, no. And they're like, do you have chicken Alfredo?
Yeah, we have a more specific version.
I'm like, yeah, that one we have. But if they look like it's their first time at a restaurant, if they ask me what chicken parm is,
No.
I've had some people from America ask me what chicken parm is. If you ask me what chicken parm is, you're getting your pasta well done. You're going to get some mushy mush, and I've never got a complaint. I have 100% success rate. Yeah.
So the profile is you seem inexperienced so that you give them beginner level pasta.
Exactly. I don't think you're ready for an al dente.
Pasta profiling Anthony. Guys, check him out. He's over there at, well, I'm not going to plug it. Okay.
Upper Feast. Follow me on Upper
Follow
Feast.
Anthony on Upper Feast.
One plug per show.
One plug per show. So we're going to play a couple games here. The first one is called Assholes At. I'm going to say a location, and then we're going to go back and forth naming assholes there, and the person who runs out of assholes loses. Okay, so the first location is the park, Anthony. It's the park.
Okay, the asshole who has way too big of a blanket and is taking up way too much space.
The asshole who has so many dogs. They're a dog walker. They have like 15 dogs. It's not good for anyone.
You don't care for the dogs? I love the park.
I love the dogs. I'm saying it's bad for the dogs and the dog owners.
The asshole who has his radio blaring god-awful music.
Oh, I hate that guy. The asshole, this is a Central Park specific one because there's no smoking in the park, who tells you there's also no e-cigs in the park. There's no juuling in the park, okay?
The asshole who is way too comfortable with their body and they're wearing the men wearing Speedos. That's wild. I don't like that.
Ooh, that is a good one. The assholes who have the horses. They've got the horses and they're making the horses go around.
Oh, yeah. Those guys are way too pushy. They try so hard to get you to do stuff. How about the asshole who pees into the park?
How about the asshole who has hot dogs? Okay, I'm out. I lost. I was like grill guy, but then I was like, no, everybody likes grill guy. What was he grilling?
How about the assholes at a grocery store?
The asshole who's like, how do you guys not have a peanut butter made from cashew over specific nut, asshole?
How about the asshole who says, well, the price said it was 20 cents cheaper.
Oh, God.
Just let it go. It's 20 cents.
Put the quarter down, Michael. How about the asshole who's like, no, I don't need a bag. I have my own bag.
How about the asshole who steals from the sample bar?
How about the asshole who, oh, I hate this person. They take too many items into the express lane. Die in a fire.
Yeah, absolute asshole. How about the asshole that goes to the U-Scan and steals fancier fruit and veg? Are you for that?
How does that work?
So basically, some people will go to the U-Scan and they'll click the fruit, but they'll click the normal fruit, but they'll have the organic.
How about the asshole who's like, you guys don't have Halo Top? I only have Halo Top, not normal ice cream. I love Air with my creamy milk product.
It is a creamy milk product. Thank you for not calling it ice cream. I am against Halo Top, and I can't think of another grocery asshole, but yeah, screw you, Halo Top.
We're trying another segment called Today in Assholes. So the day of this release is May 27th. And these events happen on May 27th throughout different years. In 1199, John is crowned the King of England.
First of all, that sounds like a made-up year. I know it happened, but 1199...
That sounds like a stupid year.
I can't process it. And that's probably why his name is just John.
Right. This is straight from Wikipedia, and it just says John. That's it. King John, I guess. That's who he was.
Yeah, Jon Snow, maybe. Game of Thrones.
Kind of an asshole to just go by John. In 2018, Maryland flood event occurred, causing one death. I feel like that's kind of an a-hole move.
Why gotta specify just one? It seems like it's too little.
It also feels very personal. Like, was this flood just homicidal for one guy? What was that guy's name? It's probably John, folks. 1933, Walt Disney released the cartoon Three Little Pigs with its hit song, Who's Afraid of the Big Bad Wolf? I feel like that's the original asshole.
Yeah, absolutely. The Big Bad Wolf, like, you're a jerk.
Right, so what's the Three Little Pigs? One built his house from straw.
Straw and then maybe wood or mud or something?
Straw, wood, and bricks.
Bricks. But my thing is, if the one pig has the ability to do a brick house, they all should do the brick houses.
Right. You want to use bricks. And by the way, didn't the Big Bad Wolf blow the houses down? I mean, look, if your house can't sustain a little bit of wind from a wolf,
yeah,
you never really had a house, folks.
Maybe if they chewed it down.
Right. That would be a little
That'd make
different.
a little more sense.
I mean,
have powerful
it's a wolf,
teeth.
not a dragon.
Right.
Crazy. I say the asshole is the two little pigs. And honestly, they should just be paying someone to build a house. If they don't know about building materials.
Maybe we're being elitist. You know what I mean? Maybe the other pigs were poor.
The
low-income pigs.
Yeah, I mean, the wolf, I guess you're right. I don't want to take the side of the oppressor. The wolf is a dick, but all he's doing is blowing. Then again, here's a real question. Is he the big bad wolf because he blew their house down? Is he not already introduced as the big bad wolf? I feel like the cards were stacked against the big bad wolf. I say Walt Disney Company was the asshole.
Media bias.
Walt Disney Company is fake news. All right, guys. Well, that's the episode. Thanks so much for tuning in. Again, please rate and review us on iTunes. We'd really appreciate that. And you can get that link nice and easy at aitapod.com.
And please submit to us. We want to hear user submission stories. We love your stories. We love talking about it in the Facebook group. Please join that. We want to talk to you about it.
Thanks a lot. We'll see you next week, Monday morning.
Thank you.